Okay, I got all set up. Got my camera here. This is the camera that you haven't seen yet. And then I have my laptop right here, which you can kind of see. And I was about to get ready to do a live broadcasting of unboxing this and doing some, I guess, tech work on it. I don't know how much time I'm going to have tonight, but for some reason YouTube is doing maintenance. So on my laptop it says, please try again in 15 minutes. YouTube is doing maintenance. I couldn't respond to any messages or comments, so YouTube is definitely doing something. Anyways, here's the AimTop Gearbox. It has to be. I mean, what else did I order? And this is how it came to me. Yeah, big old bust. Get my finger in there. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and just open it up. But you can see that's hit open with a dash. Go ahead and open it up here. Check and see what's going on in the inside. I don't know what the heck's going on with this. That's kind of funny. Okay, so everything is kind of bubble wrapped up here. Here is the motor, which looks to be in pretty good condition. Looks to be and is are two different things, but let's check out the bottom here. Brushes look like they are pressured in. That's a plus. I don't see very much usage on the communicator. This seems kind of brand new to me. This does seem brand new to me. Looking at the pinion real close, there is virtual wear, but it looks like it hasn't been really used very much. Maybe shot a couple times, but then that's it. So this is in very good condition. Doesn't have very much torque. And spinning wise, you can tell it doesn't. Magnets have like a blue-black color down inside here from what I can see, but overall it's okay. And then we open this up here. And this is what we're going to check out. Move that to the side. And right away, I don't like the wiring off the bat. And got some lube on the right here, but what I think I already see is maybe a hairline crack in the front of the gearbox, but let's be for certain, because I said maybe. Okay, this is just going to get tossed to the side. Yeah, some crummy wire, that's for sure. Piece of crap wire. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Throw this in here. And this is just some really crummy wiring, I'm sorry. It's a pile of shit. It looks like something has scraped here and here and here. Maybe something with the receiver, I don't know. This is very awkward. You can see the gearbox shell is not straight across right here. It actually angles down and comes back up. So see if you can see that. Yeah, see, it's not straight across here. Some kind of little flaw there. On the other side, same thing kind of happens. I do not see any cracks in the gearbox. look back here and see if that is a crack or not. If it is, it's very, very, very tiny. But I'm going to say no. Okay, so this doesn't look like the greatest metal ever. I'm going to go ahead and turn my laptop off since I'm not using the laptop. Alright, so we can see here that the air nozzle is caught and cannot move freely. Bushings look like they just are there. They don't look like they're held in place. So from what I can see, let's go ahead and get this thing opened. Okay, so first things first, check to see where the piston is. There's something weird going on right there. See the anti-reversal latch. Go ahead and pop it. So you could hear it kind of release. There we go. Let's go ahead and open her up. The screws are not centered. For some reason they just either are centered or not. They get centered, then not, and centered, then not, in each hole there at the top of this elongated area. From what I can tell, I don't see too much else going on this thing, so let's go ahead and open her up. There is very little threads in this, and I'm not joking, and these screws are a pile of crap, I can already tell you that. They are really just... Is this plastic? No way. No, I don't think so, but they're pretty damn cheesy. I mean, the threads are very cheesy, so let's go ahead and keep pulling this off here. Not too impressed with what I've already seen so far. And I already see stuff of the gearbox. You can see the metal threading just come out onto the the screw, so that kind of tells you that the metal's really cheap crap, that's for sure. That is for sure. Wow. Keep that away from the motor. I don't want anything to get into the motor. So, move the motor over there. Go ahead and undo this. And I mean, there's thread. I don't even want my laptop to get into this. There's metal threading all over right here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. And of course the bushings pretty much put themselves there wherever they want to. Weird. I don't want any threading getting into the gearbox, so I'll remove this. And we have, I am not kidding you, the worst, it looks like, spring guide I've ever seen. Maybe plastic is worse than this. This is actually This is actually metal, but look how fat and pretty much useless it is. Can I already say there's something I just saw right now that's pretty interesting. Anyways, the spring, really just weak. It's not irregular, it's just a regular spring, because the pitch looks to be the same all the way through. It gets tighter at both ends, so it's not irregular at all. From what we can see here, bushings. I almost want to say looks like it's 8mm. They don't look like really good bushings to me. They just look okay. Solid piece of metal, pretty much. Let's go ahead and pull this off. And the piston, I have to say, is actually pretty solid. I would say this is a pretty solid piston. Teeth are metal. This material is pretty good. And the O-ring has a lot of grease on it. There might be some ball bearings in there. Sounds like so. But just kind of zoom up on the piston. It's not too bad. See the thickness in the piston head. Just to show an angle of engagement. See where it is at. Because you may wonder, where is it? They have almost 12 o'clock. Yeah, almost 12 o'clock position for angle of engagement. So they have corrected this. They have removed the second tooth on the piston. Second, so that it's right after the pickup. It's gone. But how they have adjusted this is the front of the cylinder head is a little bit longer, and then they have a pad over that, and then this. So instead of adding more pad, they've made the cylinder head longer to get it to come back to this position, which I don't understand why you would make more plastic than a pad. Let's check and see if the cylinder head hits the front of the gearbox. Yes, it does. How do I know it does? Because I'm holding to the front of the gearbox and it goes straight in. So yeah, it does press against the front of the gearbox. Just to show again. So yeah, it's pressing against the front of the gearbox. So let's get a look at what's going on here before we get into the gearbox. Check the springs too. I check everything here. The spring is really good. It's got a nice tight fit. Just notice there's this threading. I don't know why I just did this. There's like hair or something. I need to move these screws. This threading is just going to make a mess and get into the cylinder head, or the cylinder. Right away, the tappet plate sucks. It seems good material, but you can see that it is not straight anymore. Maybe because it was left in the position it was for a very long period. but still it's not straight. And I've seen gearboxes left in that position for a long time, open them up and the plate still becomes straight. So so what we can see here is the plate needs to be replaced. I think I might have another one to replace for this. And it's really strange here. They've actually put some little bars here. I don't know if you can see that. It's really strange. Little bars right here. Anyways, there's a huge color difference between this and the piston, which seems to be a lot better material. So this is probably ABS, I'm guessing, I don't know. And then here we can see the same color as the piston. So we have maybe ABS plastic here, maybe ABS plastic here holding the wire. This is a safety bar, maybe ABS plastic for the tappet plate. And then here's the cylinder. Just a regular cylinder, there's nothing there. Air nozzle has an O-ring. It's a really nice fit. Should give perfect compression from what I can tell, because it does not fall down when you do that. So yeah, and it glides very nicely. However, the air nozzle's piece holds the air nozzle is brass, so that's not going to go very well. I'm probably going to undo that. This seems to be in good condition. Material's in good condition. It says 77 on that. I don't know why. There's like little fibers inside this gearbox. I don't know why either. Alright, so we're going to set this aside. Let me check the compression real quick. There's solid compression. And we'll check with the air nozzles. See if it's got solid compression, which I'm pretty sure it does. And it does not. So it needs a little bit tighter O-ring. I think what it is the, it's actually on there a little crooked. The there's oil or something, grease, silicone lubricant that is on this O-ring, so that's why it moves nicely, and you can kind of actually fill an air pocket when you move it back and forth, so that's where the air is leaking out. See, it's not leaking now. So let's put that down. And let's see if this material is actually strong. It's bendable, I will tell you that much. I could bend this. I stopped immediately, so there's some kind of, I guess they use this as a shim, and they just put that on top of the there's no real shims, it looks like. It looks like there might be one here, but there's one here too. Material again. Yeah, this can be bent by me. It's okay material. I mean, it's not going to break right away as I try to bend it. Let's see, the trigger pull is very, very long. Too long for me. It's not a short trigger pull, as you can see from here. Sorry. Okay, so you can see here, that's where it is. Here's a better way to see where it is. You can see it's a long trigger pull. So I've got to pull it about that much before I get a connection. And pulled all the way forward is where it practically stops. So I mean, it's The trigger pull where it stops is at the end. It's way too separated here. The spring to the trolley right here is about ready to come off. It's about ready to come busting out. Just to show right here that it's held in like that. So that's not good. Doesn't have any extra coils, it just has one coil. Strong, yeah. No, it's actually kind of weak, to be honest. I always say yeah because I'm assuming it's going to be strong, and no, it's kind of crappy spring, so that's kind of shitty right there. The screw to the trolley looks really cheesy. It's so tiny, it's unbelievable that it's there. But anyways, let's start just pulling everything out. Check out these gears. It kind of reminds me of a Siege Tech gear. And there is no shims on this. Not on the bottom, not on the top. Anywhere. No, gear looks okay though. Looks pretty good. There's actually, I mean, it's so freaking tiny. There's actually a chip right here in a tooth, but it is so tiny it's not even realistically there that you can see without the naked eye. You have to get real close on it. But you can see it kind of looks like a Siege Tech. See? Kind of looks like a Siege Tech. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 anti-reversal latch. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 teeth right here that go to the the spur gear. Pull out the anti-reversal latch, check the spring. It's got a very powerful spring, or yeah, I guess you just say that. Next thing I'm going to check is the, and this does have a shim underneath it, by the way, a couple shims. And check this. It's got some grease on it. It says AIM on it. Here's your cam right here. 3 cutouts. That's pretty much it. There is little pieces of metal in here on the gears. Maybe it's from my hand from earlier with the screws. But as you can see, the tap-up cam is a pretty solid shape. Usually I see it's kind of like a little bit different. It's not as straight as a mark as this is. This has a nice mark on the bottom. So 2 things that I can say, that looks pretty interesting, a little bit better of a mark for the tap-up cam, or excuse me, this is the cutoff. This hits the cutoff, but we're not talking about the tap-up cam. So right here we also have some plastic that holds the wiring in place, which I kind of like that. I might actually take that idea, and whenever I see that I need to wire to the front like this, I can do that. I do not like this wiring. I will probably take this wiring out. It's just a pile of crap. You can kind of see it is. Let's go ahead and undo the cutoff after I check the spur gear. I'm kind of just like, I'm not thinking tonight. I'm really awfully tired. Well, look at that. That's interesting. They shaved all that out. This is smaller, so I don't know. This is bigger here, and this is smaller, so I don't know how they really shaved that. But okay. Let's see. Does this pull off? Yes, it does. And there's some kind of like, I don't know what you call that. It's like a mound right there, you can see. This goes on top of that. And then on the bottom there's no shims. No shims on the top. In the gearbox, there's no shims on the top because I'm checking the bushing and there's nothing on the other one. There is, however, a shim on the bottom. So, the two shims on the bottom of the sector, not sure what size those are. We can find that out pretty easily if I want to. Cutoff looks great shape. Let's go ahead and take out this. Let's take this out first. Here's the spring type that it uses. Some springs are a little different. You can see right here that this would not give too much push, so it really won't push the trigger out the way it's bent. And then we check here. I already see an issue. I already see some pressure of the wire. Basically this looks like it could create a short pretty easily. It's pretty messed up. So go ahead and undo this real quick. Also notice something very strange is they've cut out a little section here, and then over here they put something here, and on the other one of the shell they cut it out. So that's really interesting. You can see this screw is just absolutely tiny right here, but we're going to go ahead and check that in a second. First things first, I'm going to check this. My hands have got a lot of grease on them. Come on. See that plastic like it's bending. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see it kind of bent a little bit. So this is cheap plastic, some kind of ABS. Maybe even less than that, I don't know. It's like caught in here. This should come right out, but it's actually caught in place and hurting my thumb to pull it out. It looks like the plastic has a crack in it right here because it is so cheaply made on that part. Pretty shitty. I think I might have a backup. Let's go ahead and check the trolley and the trigger contacts here. And wow, this screw is pretty cheap too. And it's really tiny. I'm going to go ahead and say that there are a few things I don't like that would make me not want to buy this gearbox again. But I can work with it and upgrade it and fix it up here. So we can see that there are some nicks and nannies in the wiring, especially right here. There's some nicks and nannies in it. Thing I hate about this type of wiring is you can't really see how much damage there is. There is some marking right here. There's some splitting. I mean, you can even feel it. Let's see, the trolley is in good condition. Don't worry about that. The trigger contacts look to be okay condition. Just the wiring, the soldering. Did a good job soldering. So yeah, I would definitely take these wires off. I mean, they're really just a pile of crap. Okay, so set that to the side. Let's go ahead and start taking things out, and I'm going to check the shimming on it real quick. That's not too bad. See if this even will come out. It's gonna splinter up. Wow, sorry, my face. I'm afraid of breaking it. It's gonna be cheesy. Cheesy. Come out. I'm just gonna leave it in there. Screw it. I mean, that piece is not really. You can super glue it, and it should be fine. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the shims in here, and the way they sit in there, they really don't feel like they're going in there, but they are in there. So I'm not going to check the shim job with, I feel threading and stuff in my fingers. I'm not going to check the shim job with the cut off. I'm just going to take it out, leave it out. Put this one on the bottom here. Doesn't give the greatest sound, that's for sure. I'd have to say a combat machine gearbox would be better. I mean, just hear that noise. Let's go ahead and see if that noise is because of the shimming. The noise is not because of the shimming, it's the gears. They just make that noise. What is the teeth here, the bevel touching the spur. So I would say some G&G Combat Machine gears are even better than this. This goes on the top of the bevel. And that's all there is for shims. Let's go ahead and close her up. I will tell you, this is absolutely horrible to shoot this. There is a lot of resistance. There is a lot of resistance right now without the screws being tight. You can hear the gears. I try to rotate, watch. Can't even do a revolution. Okay, I'm not touching the bushings. I'm just tightening the area with my finger. And it's struggling. That is horrid. Horrid, horrid, horrid. We're going to get rid of this. Going to get rid of that. Probably going to glue these in. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. See, at least, even with the bushing kind of moving, we get a revolution or two, at least. So, I can already tell you, this is over shimmed. You could definitely see how tight it is, and the gears will not even rotate very well. If this is a used gearbox, someone's been inside and messed with it and shimmed it, it's over shimmed. But I'm going to tell you, I do not believe that this is a user. I think this is straight out of the factory. This by itself, this made right here, I really don't think a user shimmed this, so not even decent shimming. This is just absolutely horrid shim job straight from the factory, AimTop. So we are going to have to work on that, and you could see it right away. I don't know how the let's get the motor over here. I don't know how the motor meshes with the bevel yet on the shimming that they have. I'm wondering if it's too tight, too loose. I don't know if it's even in the right position for what they have done. So I will also tell you right now that this motor, if it's not AimTop, which has an O-ring type of pinion, but I will tell you right now that the teeth do not mesh very well. You can see that from a top view here. See, look at the top view. There's a huge gap between the teeth. See that? That is just horrid. So this is going to leave all kinds of noise. Even if it's properly shimmed, it's just not going to be good. But I will shim it to be not only efficient, but the best I can, where it'll work and probably not fail for a long time, depending on how durable these gears are. I don't know how durable any of this stuff is. With whatever this is, let's see if my skills are correct. Excuse me, put that down. Move this out of the way because I don't want to get messed up. This is a 0.2 millimeter shim on the bottom of the spur gear here. And then over here we have looks like another set of 2.2s. And the gear has some weird pinkish color to it on side here. I don't know why. Oops. Alright, go ahead and drop that in. And then here on the top here, there's definitely a 0.2 there. Do I need to get my knife out? Probably. Start inspecting stuff here. A lot of this grease in my hands, so they are not coming off, but I'll bet you that these are all the same shims. See, it is a 0.2. I knew it was a 0.2. Just so you can see. Where is the camera at? Camera's right there. Okay. Just so you can see. There is stuff in my way. 0.22. Okay, I knew they were. They probably all are. Yeah. It's definitely 0.2. From what it looks like, they just put this thing together and did not give a crud. So, worth its money, let's see. Paid $66 for this. I could have paid about that much for a combat machine gearbox without a motor. Without taking the motor apart, can't really say much about it other than what I've already seen. The wiring is a piece of crap though. The gears and the shim job definitely look like, the gears do not look like as nice or sound nearly as nice. as the G&G Combat Machine, at least. And then it doesn't seem like there's any heat treatment from what I can tell. I don't know if they put any coloring over it or whatever. You do get metal bushings, but they do not sit very nicely in the shell. The shell is not reinforced other than the front right here, which we know can still crack. There is a tiny bit of rounding at the top maybe, but not at the bottom, so it's not radiused. I might radius that myself. Tappet plate, no good really. Unless I bend this back, I guess, I don't know. Piston's better. Some parts are better than the Combat Machine, and some parts are not. Shimming definitely needs to be fixed up. This would have been horrid to shoot. Absolutely horrid. And I would have had a bear problem, probably. Yeah, if you ever see my motor height video, you would know what that is. So, I'm going to end with this, guys, and I just totally shocked at how much pressure was inside this gearbox on the gears. They would not rotate being shot. That's just absolutely horrid. Other than that, piston's really good. This material is what they should have used on everything else. This material on here, and all these other parts. As you can see, the safety bar is stuck. I could try hitting it a little bit better to get it out, but it's in there pretty well from its material. So I'll catch you guys later and hit you with the fist, and pretty soon we'll be working on the M16 part of this gun, or this gearbox going to be going into it. Catch you guys later.